We have seen how to uh, run the different programs using the Blazemeter tools. So let's quickly revise that, and now we will proceed. We will create some different project with Jmeter. Jmeter shortcut is there. Okay, it is open here. Now, before I do anything here, what I will do is I will just I'll just create a test here for that purpose. And let's open this and let's give something else. So here, this will be also a flight booking application, but okay, so I'll name this as Blaze Demo. Okay, Blaze Demo uh, November 24. Okay, and then start recording. Go to this website, blazedemo.com, and then choose your departure city. Let's say Boston. Choose your destination city, Berlin. Find flights. You go to the next page. And let's say choose a flight. You go to the next page. Fill up the details. Budget flight. And then and this is the last page, right? So now stop this. Okay. So we have stopped the recording. And then again open this and say save. Jmeter. Okay, here you see facebook.com is also there. So I will just choose the blazedemo.com and click on save button. Okay, so JMX file is downloaded. I will just copy this and let me put it back to our project. If you want, you can keep it here also. There is no problem, but let's keep all the projects at one place. Blazedemo November 24. Now I will import it. Say open. Projects. All projects and Blends demo November 24. Say open. Okay. Now you see here under the thread group, uh, this is the base URL, then reserve, then you have purchase, and then confirmation. Right? Only the relevant fields are there, only the relevant URLs are here. Okay. So this is the magic of the Blaze meter. Yes. Now, if you want, you can add a listener to it. View result tree. This is one of the listener. Now, let me add one more listener, and it is called as, okay, just look at this listener, and you can see here summary report. Okay, so add that here, summary report. Okay, so here there are various columns like label, samples, average, mean, max, standard deviation, error persistent, throughput, received. Okay, these are the things. You can also see the results in the result tree. So what I'll do is I'll run this. Okay, it is executing. By the time it is executing, I'll just open some documents. Yes, the execution is done here. Okay, now look at the summary report, what it is. Okay, so it is the label. Means label means the URL you can say, or if you want, you can change that label from here, so that whatever it is written here, that will appear in the report. Okay, so here this is the base URL, then reservation, purchase, confirmation. Okay, so how many requests are total? Only one. Okay, because one thread is there. I have not changed the number of threads. I have not changed the number of users at a time. Those will use this operation. So sample is one. Okay, sample is one, and this test is actually a transaction controller. We have not learned the controller yet, but I'll tell you. So this is just a transaction controller. So there's one test or one controller here, right? So total one, two, three, four, and five. Total five samples are executed. Okay, one, two, three, four, and actually this is five. Fine. Now you see here average. What is this average? So it is the average time taken by this request. Okay, as there is only one request, so your average mean max will be same. Okay, so average means if there are some, suppose three users are hitting the request and three users took different times. So let's say first user took 10 seconds, second user you took let's say 12 seconds, and fourth user took 14 seconds. So what will be the average? Yes, tell me. 10, 12, 14. Okay, so tell me what will be the average? Yes. Hmm? Average. Average means addition of 3 and divided by 3. Yes,
12.
12 addition will be 12. Okay, so here average will be 12, right? So minimum, what is the minimum value here? Hmm? 10. What is the maximum value? Right. So see here. This is average, this is mean, this is max. Okay. So just to understand it better, what we will do is, for the first time, I will increase the load. Okay, number of threads. I will just set it as 3. Okay, and I will clear the result and run this. Okay, 3 requests are hit. Now it is not necessary that all requests will run in this sequence only, because maybe one request will be completed, then reservation will start for the other user. You see here, a purchase is started in between, right? So ultimately, three operations will complete. Okay. So one test, two test, and three test. Each request
Okay.
executed three times because three users are working at the same time. We have added three virtual users here. Okay, so these two things we have to yet understand. Okay, this I have just executed to make you understand what is this summary report. Okay, now just compare this with this. So there are now three samples. Okay, for each request, there are three samples. Now you can relate to this. Average means if there are three requests I have hit, and for three requests there are three different times. So the average of these three different times is your average. Are you understanding this? Right? And minimum value is mean, max value is max. Getting this? Now I don't know what exact time it took. It is taken by the three different requests. Okay. So here the average means one, two, and three requests are executed for this base URL, and its average is this. Minimum value means, okay, so let's try to take a relevant example. So let's say it is a 4-digit millisecond. So let's say uh, 3500. It is not the exact time. Okay, 3500. Then let's say 3314 and maybe 2250. Okay. So for this example, uh, the values for average, mean, and max. Okay, average can be taken by making the addition and divide by 3. Okay, what is the mean value here? Mean value is this, max value is this. Average will be addition of these 3 divided by 3. So this is your average, this is your mean, and this is your max. So have you understood this? Yes, three
Yes.
columns you understood. Average, mean, max. This is sample, means this single request executed 3 times. Okay, fine. So here now it is 4. So sorry, 3. So there are 3 inputs. For example, if here I'll just clear this result. There could be 5 threads also. Okay, now the five threads are time to time keep on saving it and run this. Just wait for a moment. One, two, three, four. One more request is just to complete. Yes, now it is fine. Done. Okay, so total samples are 5. Means each request is executed 5 times because I assume that 5 users are working at the same time, right? So now here, we'll just assume some values because we don't know the exact values. So let's say 3, 7, 9, 8. I will pick up the values from there itself. And let's say uh, 1, 9, 8, 9, 3, 8. Okay. And let's say one of the value will be like 6, 7, 45. Okay. So among here, you see here, there are 5 requests. So let's say 5 users executed, and the first request, it took this much time. Second user took this much time. Third user took this much time. Fourth user took this much time. So average of them is addition of these values divided by how much? Divided by 5, right? This plus this plus this plus this plus this divided by 5 will be the average. This is your mean value. This is your max value. Okay. So mean. So this is your average, mean, max. Okay, fine. This is the total here. So let's understand the other columns also. What is this standard deviation? What is this error? What is throughput and all that? Okay, received and sent. These are the uh, total number of bytes. Okay, that means how much data is transferred. So that is there, and average bytes. It is not that important. The important is standard deviation, error, and throughput. Okay. So let's understand that. So here error is 0 because we have not applied any assertion itself. So error looks like a 0. Okay. But let's understand what is standard deviation and what is throughput. Okay. So just a second. Standard deviation. This shows the set of exceptional cases which were deviating from the average values of sample response time. The lesser this value, more consistent in the data. Standard deviation should be less than or equal to half of the average time. Okay, so let's understand this. What is the standard deviation? This shows the set of exceptional cases which were deviating from the average value of the sample response time. Okay, so what is the average value for the time being? Let's calculate this. LC. Okay, let's take the 3789 plus 1938 plus 3500 plus 6745 plus 2250. Okay, and divided by 5. So what is average? 3644. Okay, so 3644. This shows the set of exceptional cases which were deviating from the average value. Deviating means the value will be either less than average value or greater than average value. Deviation, are you understanding this? Differing, difference. This shows the set of exceptional cases which were deviating from average values of the sample response time. Okay, so just look at this. Here, what is the deviation? Standard deviation is 1176. Okay, 1176. How this value is calculated? Okay, how this value is calculated? Okay, direct explanation is not. The lesser the value, more is the consistent data. Okay, standard deviation should be less than or equal to half of the average time. Okay. So here a direct calculation is not given anywhere, but let's still try to understand. The standard deviation is 1766. Okay, and as per the definition, it is it shows the exceptional cases. Okay, so what we will do is we'll take the help of the chat GPT just to understand the direct formula, because direct formula as of now in various documents I've seen it is not given. So how to calculate standard deviation deviation for Jmeter if these are the values of response time. Okay, calculate mean means average. Calculate each deviation from the mean. Yeah. Calculate mean means you see here the average is taken, and calculate deviation. Okay, calculate deviation, square them and sum up, and then this is the variation standard deviation. Uh, I can calculate somewhere. Let's say yes. So it will show us the calculations. So here average is this, and the standard deviation is this. Sample standard deviation, populated standard deviation is this. Sample standard deviation. If you are analyzing available data, so this is your standard deviation. Okay. So what it is, let's understand one more time. So first you will take mean. Means means average of it. Then we will calculate each deviation. Deviation means the difference. Okay. So here, one by one, can you tell me the deviation value for this 3789? Just open your calculator. Calculator on. So just subtract or make the subtraction of this. Take the positive value. So deviations. Okay, what is the first value for the deviation? And just subtract this 3644 from 3789 and take its positive value. Okay, keep on doing this. 145. Okay, next. 3466 minus 1938. 15. Okay, next. 3466 minus 3500. I guess it could be 144. Now 3644 minus 6745 minus, right? This minus this. Okay, 3101. And lastly, here it could be 130. Right? So 36 2250. It is 1394. So this is your deviation. Okay, deviation. And to calculate the standard deviation, you have to make a square of it and then take a addition of it and then take square root. Okay, so calculate deviation, square them up and sum up. Okay, so square. Okay, do you have your scientific calculator open? You can just open this scientific. Okay, so 145 square, 145 square, 21,000 How much it is? 24,000. 0 to 5. Okay. Can you do this? 0 to 5. 5 to 8 into 1, 5 to 8. 23, 34, 7, 8, 4. Okay. 20736. And for this, 3101. 9616201. Next, 1943236. Okay, all the squares are there. Now let's take the addition. Okay, add them. Okay, take the help of the chat GPT. Okay, maybe I will do it here. Add them. Okay, the sum of the number is this. Okay, sum of the number is this. Right. Now, as per the standard deviation, square them and sum up, and variation. For population, divide by 5 the number of values for the sample standard deviation. Okay. Step variance for the populated standard. Okay, no problem. I got a standard deviation, not variance. Standard deviation. So whatever the value you have got, you have to take the square root of it. Okay. You take the square root of it. Okay, I will ask ChatGPT only. It will give me. Uh, take the square root of this value. It is this approximately. Okay. So your standard deviation is this. Okay. Take its square root is your standard deviation. Okay. So this is the value of standard deviation. Deviation means difference. If this is the average time means, almost all of your requests execution times must be near this. Agree? Right? So it will be means it means that your application is stable, right? So let's say, for example, if I'm hitting makemytrip.com, okay, and it took almost 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say 10 seconds. Okay, I opened it and it took 10 seconds. Another user tried and it took 30 seconds. One more user it opened, it took 1 minute, right? But some users are opening and they are taking, let's say, 20 seconds, maybe 15 seconds. Means, average is common there. But if you are, some of the users are taking much time, or maybe very less time, maybe within 1 second or within 1 microsecond, it is getting open, then here deviation is high. Are you understanding this? Deviation means, let's say average time is, let's say here 5 seconds. And some users are taking 30 seconds, some users are taking, 1 second or less than 1 second. It means standard deviation is high and it is not a good sign. Do you agree with this? So if the application is taking 5 seconds to open, so all the users hitting the application must take means exact 5 seconds is not possible, but maybe 6 seconds or 4 seconds. So your average opening time must be around 5 seconds only. But if your deviation is more, means if it is taking, some users are taking more time or some users are taking very less time, then that is not a good thing. Getting this? So this we have to check in the performance. So tell me, more deviation is more or less deviation is good or bad? Okay, so
Yes.
deviation should be as less as possible. Okay, and here you see the lesser this value, more consistent data. Standard deviation should be less than or equal to half of the average of the total time of the labor. Okay, fine. So I'll just put this calculation here for your reference in our notes document. Okay, and I will give you some example for homework and calculate the standard deviation from that. Okay, API testing. So this is one of the calculation I have given.